Every time God requests something for us, it is also a test of our faith when we give it to Him. The request is actually a test, and it's an exercise for God to see whether you are actually ready for the next level of blessings. Most of the time we fail because we feel like that $60,000 that is left is and but we seem to forget that it is God that actually gives us that blessing. So let us not deal with God's requests. Because level 1 and I say level 2 now. You see, all of these things that Mumi was saying makes a lot of sense. As we are even praying right now, we are alive. God has been blessing us small and things like that in our lives. There is some blessing of last year that we are still enjoying. Amen. So will be it. Yes, sir. Last year now, we are still enjoying from there. But are we giving what God is requesting from us to be able to move us from the BIT to the next level? And that's the true test of our faith. It says $60,000. We didn't have this out. So all the two are then you will know that you are ready for $1 million. Because the amount 100,000 I'm requesting back. Most I didn't have. Making room for the new blessing. Making room for the new blessing. If you do not make room for the new blessing, there's no way. You cannot hold on to your ex-boyfriend and expect a husband, engagement. And that is how to give you a clear picture. It's like, oh boy, I work, I say we choose to boy that. But oh boy, by say, when you have chosen your boyfriend already, you are having sex with your boyfriend already. You are asking God that God, I want a husband. And never requesting. You have already made your choice. You are holding on to something. So how does God the husband never cry and start being away? So actually, the best way to pray for these things is when you actually let go of everything and ask God that God, maybe a choice in the meeting, this is a wild one, and make a choice. And I'll wait for your choice within this period. I'll stay this way for you till you bring me a choice. So half of the things we are asking for we will not receive because we are still holding on to things. We are still holding on to that neighborhood that you are in. With those friends that can't do anything for you in your life. You are still holding on to very, very useless people in your life. People that don't impact anything in your life. But yet, you are praying to God for a new connection, new business, new line of. But you are holding on to the old people. The people that the only thing they talk about is nothing that will advance you. We are still keeping old friends in our old neighborhoods and still expecting that God will lift us out of those neighborhoods. It's not possible. You have not made room for the new harvest. I don't know if you guys understand what I mean. You haven't made room for the new harvest. You are still working with the old time people and still feeling like because of small 100 Ghana and substance, you will still work with them. I'm just here to remind you guys today that if you do not let go of those past things, there won't be any room for God to add onto it. So letting go and sacrificing and giving out and giving to the altar is a way of showing God that God, we are ready for the next level. God, I have cleared all these concerned people who don't do anything in my life. Lord, I have cleared all these friends in the neighborhood. I have moved all of these things from there. I have moved this thing. I'm ready to move to level 2. That's when God will actually start giving you that level 2. Because at that point now, you have actually given up all of those old things and make space for the new blessing and the new height and the new level that He wants you to go. You don't hold on to the old ones and think that that will be added because there's no space. How do I add more water to this? How do I add? Say it before. So imagine you are this bottle. You are full of old friends, or Bobby Compensation, my brother, be on one. We back now, we do Sika, we do Bianca. We back, it is foot on the master, and no master, we sell Markham. We say, are you fool? How does God move you or add things when you are as full as this? There's no way. You have to pour whatever old is inside for God to add on. So as we are praying and fire, I want us to understand certain things and keep it at the back of our mind. That if we do not throw away some of the old things, the fire and screaming out, waving your throats, it's not going to add anything. Because we have still kept the old friends. We've still kept the old habits. We have not made room for the new ones. So we can't pack a new car. It's our car pack or car street, now so to new car. Then I'll be the cars need to check. And I started in just Kofi Lamborghini, Ferrari, so they went to check to make new room for the new set of cars that we have bought. And that's how we're parking. If we do not make room and allow these prophecies to manifest and these miracles to manifest, we'll be stressing our money up for nothing. So I read the verse again. You will still be eating last year's harvest when you have to move it out to make room for the new. I mean, most of the time that I heard this, I always just heard it in a way that I said, okay, Namia bless you from last year, those will bring, and give you more accounts. I said, oh, keep it old, but there's a key word now, that is a Uber moving it out. That means old one in a bed to actually what the bed check and I said, what the bed jam and perform. That's crazy. And sound of the new one. So that you need faith to a certain level to give out the last one and wait for the new one. And that faith is what makes us Christians and true Christians. And if we are not practicing Christians, then what are we doing? Are we spectators? We are not. So my brothers, sisters, uncles, mothers, daughter, are we ready to make room for the new? I had courage to say no to some big people and some big men who were okay, they're trying to give me enough money and those things. But Banyamisim, so Oji sa 10 million we are. Me in that space. I hit me this 1 million. Because 10 million about the space. It is part of making room for the new. And as much as it is very easy for us to sit here and say that, oh yeah, I make room for it, it's not an easy decision. And me every day I thank God that at least it's me young friend neighbor, I'm very society and my friend on me. That's no. But it is not an easy thing. I know people who are struggling with making room for the new. Let's not just answer yes, but let's reflect on it. And let's ask ourselves that when the time comes for me to give up this for new, will I be able to do it? Will I have the strength of the Holy Spirit? Will I have the strength of certain people? And that's why I keep on saying that when you're making those old connections, old friend, the type of friend, and you conform them, because when the time comes, you might discuss it with somebody. discussing. I don't discuss. Is it correct? So I'm lucky that I had mommy to call, sending people to speak, not their own wisdom and also more understanding, but also seeing and only meeting come on the level to advise me on where the episode the Bible be confusing. No, where bigger than listen and I'm a person. Sarah came here and coming into the wrong decision because it's still a lot of money. As we are sitting here, we are discussing this, you need to start thinking about, okay, so when it comes to you have to leave that boyfriend, who are you going to discuss it with? I feel like who you associate with, who are your friends, who you speak to every day, who you fellowship with is very important to building that capacity to say, no, I'm clearing all of this thing away for the need. You need to have friends who are higher, bigger, sensible, wisdom, everything, closer, all of that. I think it's one of the steps that will help us. Senior man, my example, let me see. You saw him outside. You have to say this here, quantity, and everybody put out and have money to bet to the German. But when I am here at church, say, my precious son, move with your family. Say, I want to make a actually boost. Say, move to. And they are not back with your too. Wouldn't idea of the view of the was seen to see how they say, go here on tree because the man has any name that. Hey, let's profile in this new field. Because guess I won't say, I say, 2 years here for that one.